delivering the warfighting capability the fleet needs, when they need it, at a cost we can afford. That's exactly what the NAWCAD Structures Lab team aimed for with a new means of munitions transport.
What we have here is two torpedoes, a Mark 46 and Mark 54. Each of them are currently restrained on a M191 utility trailer. This is pretty standard configuration for how these munitions are transported. However, the difference is these are currently instrumented with what we're calling a friction-assisted restraint system, or FARS. Something that hasn't quite been done in this nature before in the fleet. We're taking friction and solely relying on friction to resist the motion of these torpedoes while in transit. We're eliminating the need to transport these munitions utilizing those kind of legacy bulk containers.
The new friction-assisted system allows the fleet quicker munitions delivery and setup, which can reduce exposure to enemy detection and save lives. Faster availability also equals more operational flexibility in both planning and executing missions. Fielding a solution like this one takes creativity and collaboration.
How can we do it faster? Affordability. How can we do what we're currently doing but save some money doing it? And then overall capability. How can we take a systems level approach to how we're currently moving these munitions around and develop a capability to do that more affordable and make the material more available? First and foremost, we needed to identify subject matter experts.
Here at NAVAIR, we have a network of engineers that work at all different disciplines. So from us then going to the cargo lab, and the cargo lab reaching over to the structures lab, and then they reach over to the materials lab, and everybody's working together to solve the problem.
The big question facing the group: how do you hold down a 600-pound metal cylinder with no attachment points?
We didn't have anything to grab onto on the torpedo. The way it's suspended from the aircraft has these bands and bomb lugs, for lack of a better description, that separate from the torpedo as it enters the water. We couldn't use those to grab onto the weapon while it's being transported in the back of an aircraft. The materials lab here worked a unique solution.
So when they approached us with this solution, we wrapped some straps around it and we pulled it and we verified that friction alone would work, but it was a lengthy process that required a huge amount of straps, and we said we could do this better.
And that's where NAWCAD's support equipment branch and fabrication facility entered the equation.
I've been in the fabrication industry for about 40 years now, so being a retired parachute rigger, I've got a little bit of knowledge on harnesses and webbings and things like that. They told me what they needed. I got to work on it right away. The main straps that we're using are only 5,000 pounds, but they're using several of them. So that really boosts up the amount of weight that we can hold down. So I had to at least make sure what I was doing was going to be able to exceed what they were doing.
The network of straps create pull angles and cargo tie-down points designed to secure torpedoes on various aircraft.
The tricky part with testing is you test your equipment as much as the article, and so being able to do that correctly and safely is always, while also protecting the asset itself.
I know what the fleet is like. They're hard on stuff, so whenever I do make something specifically for the fleet, everything gets reinforced as best as I possibly can.
The system isn't yet approved for the fleet, with further testing needed on specific aircraft. But what started as an out-of-the-box idea could become a game-changer for warfighter readiness.
What enabled us to get this out quicker, honestly, is support and just those North Star principles. I mean, they're coming from the top down. Everybody above me was very supportive of getting this out.
Well, it's very helpful knowing that the people you're working with, you can bounce ideas off of, work together, get the project done. I'm retired Navy, so being able to still support the fleet, real rewarding.
But we're going to figure it out, and we're going to come up with a solution. I've yet to come across a project or a requirement that we haven't solved the problem.
I am incredibly proud of this because this will enable the warfighter to do their job faster, to get in the fight quicker, and hopefully bring some of our brothers and sisters back home.